Bobby Althoff, you brought her up yesterday, Mikey. You had said that you saw something right before the show went live. You saw a clip of Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports saying something about her situation that she has with Drake. Because a while back, and if you don't know who Bobby Althoff is, she is a YouTuber and Instagram podcaster who really just kind of over the past couple months, just since April, just kind of shot to fame because she's went from really just being a woman who was a pregnant mom who kind of went viral because she met Michael Bublé while she was pregnant and was kind of weird when she had him sign her toe and stuff, and when she was pregnant she had misshapen boobs. One boob was bigger than the other, so she went viral because she did this, you put an avocado under your boob and it'll even out the boob size stuff. So she started out as just kind of a mom talker or whatever they're called, or a TikTok mom or whatever. But then she eventually went to somehow started interviewing a little bit bigger people. She started off with that comic. She's a female comic who I can't remember her name. She got in some trouble recently. Who's the female comic that kind of puts almost clown face on, that got in trouble? Mike, I feel like you should know this because you're very internet-y.
Clown face on?
She just has big, bright red makeup, and she's got long black hair.
I don't know who you're talking about comic-wise. I mean, is she a funny comedian?
Yeah, I mean, some people... Well, she just got in trouble because she got accused of grooming some people, some of her younger fans. No, I can't remember. I'm trying to find a picture of the girl that she interviewed, but a lot of her. Well, here's the thing. She has pulled so many of her videos down. Bobby has. In fact, just like one I pulled earlier today, I went to go look at again, and it was gone. She had pulled it again already. So she's going through all her stuff and just pulling videos, picking videos left and right to get rid of, kind of inexplicably. But the comic that I'm saying, it really doesn't matter who it is, but it's kind of a lower level comic, and she's working her way up through and starting to interview more and more famous people. Here it is. Here is the name. Here's the girl. You recognize this girl? Miranda Sings?
No.
You don't know her?
I don't know her.
Oh, okay. Well, she's kind of like a YouTuber / comic. I think even I think Jerry Seinfeld even interviewed her on one of his comics and cars getting coffee or whatever shows and stuff. So she's kind of like an up and coming. Well, she was until she started to get canceled over a couple months ago. But anyway, so Bobby started interviewing her. Then she worked her way up, and eventually she got to the point where she's interviewing Drake and Lil Yachty. So some kind of fairly big name. Well, Drake's the biggest name in rap, obviously, and Lil Yachty's pretty big name. But I did find a clip of her interview with Drake, and now the reason she's in the news now is because after her interview with Drake, she kind of everything went quiet for a little bit after the interview with Drake. She did her interview. That interview went viral for a little bit because it was kind of weird because they did it in his bed. So it was just kind of a weird situation all around. And the tone of the interview was just weird all around because she's weird. And that's just the way her interviews are. She's just very kind of semi-confrontational in her interviews. So she's just... that's just how she rolls. So the whole thing went viral for a little bit. Then it went quiet. And then all of a sudden, the two of them, Drake and Bobby, unfollowed each other. And she started scrubbing all of the Drake interviews from her Instagram and her YouTube. And then she did an interview with Barstool. And she actually talked about how she ended up doing the interview with Drake. Here is her interview on Barstool with Dave Portnoy talking about how she got the opportunity even to interview Drake.
And then Drake, you saw into Drake's.
My video with Marco went very viral.
Yeah.
Like, very viral. I didn't
That's
expect
when I first started. That's when I became aware of you.
Yeah, then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded, and he followed me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to, like, shoot my shot to Drake. I don't know how this... I thought the chance of him replying was, like, a 1%, and the chance of him saying yes was, like, 0.000. I was like, there's no way. I said... when are you going to come on my podcast?
And he
said,
game right away.
He was ready to do it. I flew out there like, I think 3 days later.
Wow.
And then you're off to the races. Now you can kind of get anybody you want.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's where that ended up. Now, the interview with Drake now has, like I said, I found the actual interview because it's been scrubbed. She scrubbed it from her Instagram, from her YouTube. Drake doesn't have any mention of her anywhere. And oddly, this comes after, well, here, I'll show you. She went to one of his concerts a couple weeks ago, last week, I guess. And Mike, you mentioned this yesterday. That's why I wanted to play it too. She said that for some reason, I guess when she first originally posted this, she had tagged Drake in it. And then she went back and untagged Drake for some reason. But this was her doing her shtick. This is what she does. This is her shtick. You'll watch. She's at a concert while everybody's having a great time at a Drake concert, and this is what she's doing. And I had to turn the audio off, obviously, because it's a Drake concert, and I can't play Drake songs. But we'll just pretend it goes 0 to 100 real quick. 0 to 100 real quick. I can't say the word in between, obviously, but real quick. 0 to 100 real quick. There you go. So she's doing her shtick there at the show, obviously, just standing there, not, pretending, feigning interest, because that's her whole thing. And for some reason, she untagged Drake. That was one of the little things that has kind of sparked this whole, why did these two stop talking to each other? Controversy. And then you said yesterday you hipped me to this clip from Dave Portnoy on Barstool doing an interview talking about his conversation with Bobby regarding the Drake situation. And here is Dave's reaction to that.
Ivana's like, I heard that Bobby's...
Ivana is Dave's wife, by the way. So if you don't understand what he's talking about at the beginning when he says, Ivana says, this is Dave's wife, Ivana. She believes that Drake and Bobby are having an affair, and that's what's the cause of her divorce, and that she's getting a divorce, and that's why they have unfollowed each other. So that's why he's going to start explaining right here.
Ivana's like, I heard that Bobby slept with Drake and is getting divorced. So I asked her. I DM'd Bobby.
What? You asked her, did you sleep with Drake and are you getting a divorce?
Yeah. She's like, I'm not commenting on that publicly.
Wait, so you just outed her?
Oh.
You just outed her not public comment?
Okay.
Ivana's like, I heard.
So you saw that, I saw that. So Dave Portnoy basically then now the way they edited that together, it implies that she's admitting to him that she did sleep with Drake and that's why they're getting a divorce, right? Is that what you're taking from that, the way they edited it together, right? Now,
read between these lines type of deal.
If you watch the interview with Drake and Bobby, I would see where people might think that. Now, here is a little clip that I found from that interview of Drake and Bobby.
Then I'll come to one of your shows. Are you inviting me to one of your shows?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Am I your type?
Now, right off the bat, isn't it just weird the way they're in his bed? I mean, it's kind of just, I mean, I get it. You want to put on make it interesting and try to make it, totally unique and do something different. I'll give him credit for that. But doing it in his bed as a married woman, that's supposedly his bed, supposedly.
Which one? He's got to have a room for each one of his women in his life. Sorry.
You can say broads. I'm not stopping. You can say whatever. You can say that. Here's the rest of that interview.
Then I'll come to one of your shows. Are you inviting me to one of your shows?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to another Dumb Show. I'm another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining us on this, let's see, what's today? Monday, issue number 88. Thank you for streaming with us this evening. I thank you so much. It feels so good having you guys streaming on my tube. It feels so right. You know how much I love having you guys here. Thank you. I hope you had a great day. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a great weekend filled with work, loneliness, and then happiness. And I'll tell you guys all about that here in just a minute. So I just want to give a quick shout out. First in the chat over there is Brap, back at it, figuring things out over there. I know his work schedule changed, so it's good to see him back in there first off in the chat. So shout out to Brap. Love having you here, my dude. Mikey was going to be on with us tonight. But right before the show started, he got a call for work, so he isn't able to be here tonight. Hold on one second, I gotta move this thing over. It's driving me crazy. Thank you. Sorry, I was moving things around, so I'm looking at the wrong spot, and it's driving me crazy. So yes, Mikey's not going to be with us tonight. At least maybe he said he was going to try to give us check in from his work van if he had any kind of schedule or a signal. But I don't know. I don't know if I really want him doing that while he's driving or anything like that. I kind of get worried, nervous that something like that bad could happen while he's trying to do the show and driving his work truck. So Mikey, just focus on work, my dude. I did see Irish Ronnie in the chat was wondering why I'm not here, why we did not do a show live on Friday. That is because, in Irish Ronnie, you can always call in and ask that question. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. I do believe that the phones are working. I saw some people calling in before the show, and it looked like the phones were ringing. I picked up, and I was able to hear. So I do believe that the phones are working, guys. Yeah, there you go. See, I can hear myself talking. So if you want to give us a call, I encourage you to do that at 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Always good to have you guys call, especially when I don't have Mikey around, because otherwise I'm just sitting here talking to myself, and that gets really fucking boring for me. So, hey, Don, I got an email, though, from Angelina, and you can always email the show at anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. It's an email from Angelina that says, "Hey, Dumb, listening to you and Mikey talk about football brings a tear to my eye. My brother and dad used to talk Browns football every day, but especially Sundays, and it became such a huge deal in my house. Sunday dinners, sitting around eating a home-baked meal, and they would talk, laugh, and pick on each other. I lost my brother to cancer a few years ago, and just lost my dad a few weeks ago. Oh, geez. Watching the friendship between you and Mikey reminds me so much of them, it makes me cry. I hope you and Mikey never lose the bond you guys seem to have as brothers, or more specifically, family. I look forward to the show every night, and most importantly, that football talk. Love ya." Well, Angelina, I appreciate you sending in an email. And yeah, I do consider Mikey family for sure. That's why, when everybody was giving him a hard time the other night when he was got stung by those bees and was getting all wonky and stuff, passing out on the show because of the EpiPens and muscle relaxers and God knows what else. I took his word for it. I gave him a chance, and I let my dude do his thing. So, that's why, you give family give them enough rope to hang themselves. That's how you do it with family, I suppose. So I hope I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I'm just bringing that up only in the sense that, yeah, I look at him as family. And I was looking forward to talking a little bit of football with him. There wasn't too much football that I saw over the weekend. I did spend some time watching some racing, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I had a wedding on Friday night. And man, it was a really great evening. I had a really great time with Rob Meister's asking who's the guest co-host while Mikey's out. Well, I literally found out that Mikey wasn't going to be here about, 10 minutes before the show started, I think. I actually don't know exactly what time it was. It was like right before we got started here. And I was also running behind too because, Mikey was like 5 minutes before the show started. So he got a call to go to work. Who am I going to call with the 5 minutes to start? To call B1 or whatever? I'll tell you why I can't call her in a minute. But yeah, I did a wedding on Friday night. It was a really nice wedding. Friday night weddings are great because people usually like they get out of work on sometimes Saturday weddings they get a different vibe than a Friday wedding, because Friday weddings, people get out of work and they got to kind of hurry to the event. So it's either they're in hardcore party mode because they're like, hey, it's Friday night, I got out of work, I'm about to let loose. Or they're like, I'm so tired from the work week, I don't want to do anything, I just want to get out of here. This was a group that came to party, man. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun. The couple picked some great tunes. They had, everything from rock to country to pop to everything. It was great. It was a really good, fun time. Just a group that wanted to dance. There was one big guy there that was yelling at me because I wasn't playing enough slow dances for him, because he had some hot little piece of blonde ass with him, and I'm pretty sure that he was just hoping he could just dance with her more. And I wanted to be like, dude, she's been on the dance floor all night. If you get off your ass and go dance with her, you could have been dancing with this girl all night, but you're just waiting for slow dances. That ain't the way to do it, bro. You're not going to win her over doing it that way. You got to get on the dance floor and shake your thing. I mean, at least go out there during Usher, and pretend you know how to dance or something. Just grab her during the lady in the streets, but lady in the bed, but the freaking streets, or however the frick that part goes. Just grab her and scoop her up. Go. It was. I hate that when people bug me about too many slow dances. I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't play tons of slow dances, and if they don't have a ton of slow dances on their list of must plays, I'm not playing a ton of them, because we're there to party, as far as I'm concerned, not just do a bunch of stupid slow dances. But I did see a pretty interesting story, actually, relating to weddings. It's about kind of, and it's funny that this story kind of rung true to me, because I saw B1 go through this. This isn't like the newest story in the world, but I think it's just kind of going around again for whatever reason. There's a wedding shaming community on Reddit that every once in a while gets picked up in the news. And this story just came out in the news about a bridesmaid dealing with the bridezilla. And I watched, and I'm not saying that B1 dealt with a bridezilla. She just dealt with a bride. She was in a wedding that she was not financially suited to be a part of, because the bride that was getting married is a very successful college graduate with a very good job. Most of the other girls in the bridal party were also very successful college graduates. And poor B1 was still kind of establishing her career really at that time. She was still working her way through vet school. And she's still doing that kind of really, but she's still figuring out her career. She hadn't really, she didn't have a college degree like these other girls do, or already did, and had already had some jobs established and were kind of successful at that point in their career. And so the bride, I think, not intentionally, but just kind of didn't really consider B1 in her financial situation when she was kind of coming up with the whole plan for the whole wedding, where she, they did a bachelorette party, I believe, in Vegas. And B1 ended up making all this stuff happen. She was able to save up and work her way towards it, and made it all happen, but not without a lot of work. I mean, she ended up having to save to go to the bridal party trip or whatever, the bachelorette party in Vegas. She had to help save up for, and that's what this girl is complaining about. She had to help save up for all these different things. They had to, what was the one other thing they had to save up for? Yeah, the bachelorette weekend, the catering for the bridal shower, and also where I think the bridal shower's at, I think she had to throw money in on. And she wasn't like walking around complaining about this by any means. She was happy to be a part of the wedding. I think she just felt overwhelmed because, and not left out, but just a little bit, maybe a little left out, but not in the sense that like people were doing things without her, just that maybe a little left behind, because these other girls were, in a different place in life, and she wasn't, and she really had a hard time kind of dealing with that. And I think it put a little bit of strain between her and some of the other bridesmaids as far as some of the planning, and it caused some tension there, which then of course caused some tension between her and the bride. And everything in the end ended up working out fine. The wedding went off without a hitch. They had a great time at all these events and all this stuff. But I just know that it was something that caused her a ton of stress. CB said, just declined to be in the wedding. LOL, it's that simple. Well, no, it's literally her lifelong best friend. It's her oldest best friend, they've been best friends since I think early middle school. And it's like one of those best friends where it's the one you can always rely on. Even if you don't talk to each other a little while, you separate for a couple years, but you just randomly stay in touch. But then you keep coming back together in the long run. I have a friend that's like that from when I was real little. And B1 has a friend like that too. So that's her lifelong best friend. So there was no way she couldn't be a part of it. Now, one of the other stories is a part of this story that I found online today too, was that this other, it seems though in this situation that the bride is actually trying to push this bridesmaid out, because at one point, I guess for the wedding day itself, this woman went on to say the bride, quote, dropped the bomb today that she wants a professional makeup artist and hairstylist to do our makeup the day of the wedding. This is going to cost another $300 total, wrote the friend. She said, I'm at my limit for spending, and she said if I do my own makeup, I have to practice and send a picture for approval. The hairstyle she wants us all to have will not work on my hair, added the friend, as it's too short. The friend continued, I sent her a pic of how my hair isn't long enough with my face framing and asked if I could do a low bun, blah, 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 blah. So the long story is the bride has now taken to making her do practice makeup runs and practice hair runs just to be a part of this wedding. That, CB, is when you would say, go after yourself. I don't want to be a part of your wedding if I got to practice about how I'm going to look with my makeup and my hair. And if, like, imagine if that happened to a guy, it wouldn't even be, like, the guys might be willing to pay all that money to go on the trips and do all that fun stuff and be a part of all these, you know, guys don't do showers or whatever, but bachelor parties and golfing events and pre-wedding things that dudes do now and stuff. Guys are willing to pay all that. But if there's all a bunch of like caveats attached to it and stuff, guys are going to eventually just say, screw that, I want nothing to do with that. So, but in this case, yeah, when they start trying to go out of their way to make this girl feel bad, why is somebody saying does dumb B1 go out of her way to make dumb feel bad for her? No, this had nothing to do with, I genuinely felt bad for her. This was a lot of money that she had to spend, and she just couldn't, she was just outmatched with these other girls as far as where they're at in their careers and stuff. That's my point. I think you'd feel bad for anybody in that kind of situation. Nugget Man, it has nothing to do with necessarily just the fact that it was B1. I felt bad for her because it's her lifelong friend and she doesn't want to let her friend down. But on the other hand, it's hard to keep up with these other girls who maybe make more money and start coming up with all these crazy ideas that she can't keep up with. And then she's got to feel embarrassed when she's like, look, I can't afford this, girls, or like tries to talk to her friend and be like, hey, I can't really afford to do this. And it's not like she's broke. She makes decent money, but some of these girls are making a lot more. So it was understandable why she was upset. So I know you guys have, some of you guys have your issues with B1 in there, but she's a friggin' human being at least. And so she's allowed to have feelings and things that go wrong for her. I feel bad sometimes for her too. And I think that it's all right for you guys to feel bad for her too, whether you're happy with our situation or not. Anyway, thankfully B1 didn't have to deal with any of that makeup stuff or any of that kind of makeup drama. That was just in that story, because it started to look like the bride was trying to weed out that bridesmaid and get rid of her because she didn't think she was good looking enough, or you know, did the complete opposite of what B1's bride did, which was say, hey, let's take a break for a little bit, let everything cool off. Maybe don't talk for a week or two. Then once everything cools off, we talk about everything and we get through all of this. Yeah, that's that. So the wedding, was great Friday night, and that story just made me think. I just saw that story and it made me think of what happened with B1. So I am going to speak, I do have F1 on the line. I'm F1 Frank, and I'm going to grab him in a sec. And it made me think. I did watch some racing this weekend, so I want to talk about that. Before we get to the racing, though, let's talk to Mr. F1 himself. F1, you're on another dumb show. What's up, dude? 844 hit Dom.
Hey, Dom, what's going on, man?
Chilling like a villain, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. I got another smelly story for you.
No, I think you're referring to one of the last times you called in. You were at a run-in with the police after pulling a prank in a corner store. Well, just in case people didn't hear it, you pulled a prank in a corner store and you sprayed some liquid ass, which is the fart spray, the most noxious smell in the world. You sprayed it in the store. A woman accused you of trying to spray it on her children, and the cops showed up at your house. And thankfully, you were not. No, you didn't get a menacing or disorderly conduct or anything, just got off with a warning. What happened this time, Frank?
Well, I will tell you, that statement's wrong because I smelled something worse than liquid ass.
Okay.
Me and the old lady, we went out to this prison out in Mansfield this weekend. All right, so we
that
had a good
haunted
time.
one,
Everything's good.
The haunted one that everybody talks about.
Yeah, that's all made up. But yeah, that one.
Okay.
And we went to some like little diner there, and she got some like chili dog or whatever. And I won't tell you the place because I ate half the dog, and I don't think that's what it was. But whatever, we're driving back, and we get an hour back, towards home, and she's like, it's like, I'm gonna get sick because she's driving. I'm just sitting in the passenger seat, drinking, and she pulls over, she pukes, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, gets back in, and we drive another 10 minutes. She's like, I'm gonna get sick again. She pulls over like on an exit, gets sick again. Whatever, I've seen millions of people puke, I'm not,
Sure.
that don't bother me.
Yes.
I'm sure you have too,
Oh yeah, I've been puked on plenty of times.
She gets to, yeah, me too. So that don't make me sick. That's not what this was, but once we try to get back on to the highway again from the second episode, she's like, we're in the middle of an intersection and we're stopped at a stoplight, and she's like, oh nope, puts in park, puts caution lights on, like right in the middle of the intersection. And she doesn't even get out this time. She just opens the door and like pukes out the door.
Been there, done
I
that.
didn't know it at the time. She's not drinking, so it's not from being drunk. She's like legitimately her belly, whatever. So, but when she bent over to puke out the door, and I didn't know this, I didn't hear it, she farted, and it didn't smell right away.
A 2 for
But
1.
then when she was done puking, she sat back up, and like puke was drooling off her chin, and then that's when I smelled, man, probably the worst smell I've ever smelled in the world. And between that smell and the visual of the puke like running down her chin,
This is your wife?
I started to like heave. It's my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? So between the smell
yeah.
of the ass rip and the drip and did you end up throwing up too, or just you're dry heaving?
Well, see, I started to heave, but she knew we were in the middle of the intersection, so she's, the light was green. It had been green. She was puking in the intersection while the light was green. And I'm like, I just started like going, she didn't think anything about it. She thought I was being funny. And she started driving. And at that time we were going up over a bridge where there's like nowhere to pull over and nowhere to even open the door. And I just started puking all over the side of her car.
Nice. Just a stand by me.
Back the side of her car.
Stand by me, boom
And
baba
I told
chain
her-
effect. I love it.
And I told her, I said, if I would have had some liquid ass in the car, I would have sprayed it to mask the smell of your raunchy ass. Because it was terrible, man. It's that worst smell, hands down, that I've ever smelled. Like, liquid ass smells like a barnyard. This smells like, was like
A mix
a
of the
sewage
two.
plant, man.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, just
Brad was kind enough
worst
to
thing.
Brad was kind enough to point out that I've not only been puked on, I've also had other things done to me in the Cleveland Steamer variety.
Yeah.
And I will say that did smell pretty bad, But there's something about that liquid ass that it's worse to me. I don't know. There's something about that is so noxious and offensive to my nose. I really can't imagine a smell that's anything worse than that. I'm telling you, man. It's
It
bad.
was not even. It wasn't even half of what came out of her ass, man. And I thought it came out of her mouth because she was puking. Because I didn't realize she farted. So she sits back up with puke drooling out of her fucking chin, and I thought that was the smell of her vomit, you know?
I heard that the first time.
Bad.
Oh, that's gross.
Did I
Well,
say that? My bad.
all right, F1. You know I love when you call in with your disgusting stories, so thank you for calling in. I appreciate it, man. Stay out of trouble. Go ahead. What?
Did you see I sent you a video? I smoked weed for the first time in like a bunch of years.
I know you said you want to be a correspondent. I can't get any videos from you, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like you said something about you sent one on Twitter or something, and I can't find what you're sending. So just send it like in an email. Just attach it to an email or whatever. See if you can get that to work.
Because you said like what one time to an email, and then you didn't say no more. So I thought maybe you said. I'll try it again.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was you. So attach the actual video of your application. That'll be your application, and just let me know what city you're applying for, and we'll go from there. All right.
All right, sweet. Hey, Dom.
Yes.
Try to not smell anything bad tonight.
Well, you're not here, and your wife's not here, so I think I'm gonna be okay.
Have a good one, Dom.
You too, buddy. Gotta go. Love a good puking in the car story. That's actually not the first puking in the car story I heard this past weekend. Actually, in fact, it's part of my B1 update. So Saturday, I was so B1 went to Cedar Point on Saturday, which is obviously the amusement park around here. I kind of forgot she was going, so when I woke up, I was like, hey, what are you doing, whatever, and then she was like, didn't really reply, and then she finally got back to me that she was at Cedar Point, and then I realized, oh, she's going to be at Cedar Point all day, and then I kind of like started to feel kind of bummed out, because I was like, well, shit, I don't have to work tonight. The kids are like having a pool party at their house, so what the hell am I supposed to do with myself if I can't work? And I usually would hang out with B1. So what the hell do I do now? And I just, for whatever reason, instead of like thinking to myself, I should go, go call a friend or something like that and see what they're up to. I was just like, I think I was so bummed out because at that point, you know, I had mentioned earlier this week that she and I were supposed to, talk at some point. Because you know, about our relationship, what's going on with our feelings, where we stand, where we're going, you know, instead of just kind of in this weird friends with benefits on and off situation that we're in. So you know, I was looking forward to / dreading this conversation we're supposed to have this week, and then Saturday came, and then I was like, well, wait a minute. On Sunday, I'm probably going to end up having the boys with me. So I'm really not going to have any chance to talk with her about anything. So that made me really bummed out. I was like, you know what? This is kind of an example of what I get upset about is like, there's no real, you know, we're going to talk about something and then there's no follow through with it. So that really bummed me out on Saturday. So I really, CB says, Jesus Christ, this girl is not your girlfriend. Stop waiting around to hang with her. Go and meet some girls. Well, I was in no position or no condition to go out and meet people on Saturday. I was bummed out because I was confused about what to do. You know, there's part of me saying, do that. You know, I read this news story about there's a new TikTok trend called master dating. And I thought to myself, it's called the self-reflection, self-care approach can end up being self-empowering. Master dating is where you go out on dates alone to get to know yourself better and take care of yourself. Master dating can reveal whether you can actually be by yourself rather than always needing a partner. It says taking time out for real self-reflection and self-care can help your health and life in many different ways. And it says you can't find the right partner in a relationship without better knowing and taking care of yourself. And these are all things that you guys have actually said to me. So apparently you guys are really good at master dating. And again, I'm not saying another word. I'm using a word with a D in it. It's master dating. It's going out on your own to get to know yourself. And now I considered this. I really went back and forth all day Saturday. Back and forth. Not like going out with someone, just thinking to myself, what can I go do by myself in a master dating kind of thing? And I actually saw this story last week, and so it was actually on my mind. And Strawberry Charlie says, I thought for sure he said he was going to go to Cedar Point to see her. No, I'm not that absolutely nuts, you freaking whack job. I'm just a human being who's trying to figure out what to do in a situation where I'm getting mixed signals. And then I'm getting kind of a repeated pattern of saying, yes, I'm going to sit down and talk to you about things, and then not being followed through. So that was very frustrating. Now, I need to figure out some ideas for different master dating things to do for master dating. So if you want to call in, 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. I need some ideas for what I could do on some master dates. Where we go? Hi. Ooh, hi. You're on another dumb show.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's a little loud. What's up, man?
Oh, sorry, I'm at work.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Dude, when you were talking to Frank, I got a spam call, and I could hear the conversation that you were having with him on the phone. And I just got the same call again, and it was fucking Chance, dude. I swear to fucking God.
How would he get your phone number?
I don't know. And I called him out, and he was laughing. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but he's a fucking creep, dude.
Who is this? What's your name, man?
My name's Trevor from the chat.
Wow, that's weird, Trevor. So, Trevor, you probably have your first and last name in there.
I do.
And
You're
that's
right.
Yeah, and so he's a psychopath. And so now he's taken, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Okay. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This guy is unhinged. Like, he calls me, like, says I'm crazy and I do all this crazy stuff. And now you see what's like. Have you given him a hard time in the chat when he's called in before? Have you like made fun of him in particular?
I've said random things, but I think that you're right when I have my name in there. But who does that?
A crazy person, the kind of person that calls person that calls a YouTube host dad. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you guys. So here's a perfect example. That guy called in. I tried to call him out about calling my family members and calling me repeatedly from 8,000 different phone numbers, and he outright lied to me, straight up lied about it. And now he's taken to trying to bother people in the chat. So I always tell people in your chat, if you have your first, like, I don't know how that works with YouTube as far as changing your first and last name in the chat, but I would recommend changing it at this point, because this guy's obviously some sort of nutcase
I log in with my Google, I think. So that's, when I've done other chats on YouTube, my Google, so it has my name in.
And Brad's in there asking, he goes, what's his number, Trevor? And I'm like, and it'll be different every time. He'll probably call Trevor back tonight from a different phone number. That's how crazy this fucking guy is, dude.
It's been the same number every time, and when I tried to call it back, it told me it was what was that program?
Text Now subscriber?
Yes, that's exactly what it said. I'm gonna post the number just in case.
No, it's up. You do whatever you want. I can't stop you. I would, if somebody was harassing me, I would do it too. But he'll just change that and go to a different number. He just changes it to a different number like every different day. So I know he thinks that like So yeah, that's the level of crazy we're dealing with. That's why I really didn't want to talk about him anymore ever again because he's psychotic. And then that's what he does. He like record, and then he does that. That's the weird thing he does. So now he thinks that like you're gonna not want to listen to the show, Trevor. This is his thing. Like you're gonna be scared off now by it, or some sort of weird thing like that. It's very it's super odd behavior. That's what makes me like I'm not like scared of this person, but I'm starting to get concerned that this person is getting what's the next step for this person? What's their end game? You know what I mean? Now they start attacking you.
Yep.
But he seems to have the same MO. He's just like a 14-year-old with a phone book and like opening the phone book and calling people and you know what I mean? Like that because he must I do give him it makes me feel good that he's obviously paying the $40 a month for the background check services that you have to have. Good for you, dude, that you're spending $40 a month to be able to prank call people. But so there you go, guys. There's confirmation that I'm not some sort of crazy lunatic harassing people, that this guy is actually literally calling people and harassing them. And now he'll call in, he'll call and he'll be like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. You and your listeners are crazy. You're delusional. And with his bad lisp, we're delusional. So that's what he'll do.
Well,
but I doubt.
I know he's listening right now, and if you, I'm like this. You don't know what people are capable of, and this better end at phone calls. You don't want to find out. I'm not lying. I know he's listening.
That's why people like
He's
you guys.
with me, dude.
That's why people like you guys like me because I don't play that kind of stuff either. So that's how he does it. So again, that's why Trevor. So I would just block him actually, and not give him any attention or post anything because that's literally what he wants. You know, he wants his little 7 or 8 people in his Reddit group to be like, oh, look at what we did. They talked about it or whatever. So. Don't bother. And that's why I always say I'm probably I don't want to take the phone calls from him. I don't want people even mentioning him in the chat at this point because this is a stalker. This is a person who's like crazy. Like this is somebody who's like I think actually crazy enough to like try to get me to actually try to do something to them. You know what I mean? And then be like, "Oh God, I'm a victim of something of this crazy person." That's how unhinged this person is. So that's why I really don't want like any sort of mention of the dude. I don't want to take calls from him anymore. I just want him to I just want it to go away because we're dealing with somebody who is just trying to get me to get in trouble. Trying to get one of you guys to get in trouble. You know what I mean? That's his goal is to try to get somebody to get in trouble and go after him or whatever. So it's really, he's just trying to be annoying and get nothing beyond like phone harassment. He's never going to go past anything like that. He's like a little kid in his mom's basement. All I'm interested in is really what I'd like to know more than anything is, what is his dog in this fight? Like, where did he come from? Did I bang his mom? Like, that's one of the things I genuinely wonder. Did I bang this dude's mom? Is that a chance? Because he seems kind of young. So I'm wondering if that could be it. Did I rip his mom apart on the show at one point in time?
He's calling me right now.
Oh, there you go. There's a perfect example. So just block his number, Trevor, because that's what it is. And he probably can't call mine anymore or whatever. So yeah, just block him, dude.
I know you're listening.
There you go. So, but yeah, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with like a little internet dude who he's not going to go anywhere beyond phone calls and harassment and blah, 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 blah. And people say, yes, your blowups are so entertaining. But guys, I'm a reactionary person. I'm not out to go after people. I'm not here to. In fact, when I restarted the show before and this time around, the goal was positive vibes. You know, no blow-ups, none of the rage outs, all just fun and positive vibes and, you know, having some delis and some lavender and having good times. And then things happened. We were dealing with different, you know, crazy people one way or another. And so, hey, what are you supposed to do? Trevor just called back again. Did you butt dial me or?
No, I didn't. Somehow the call got disconnected and it was him. I don't know if that's possible or not.
No, I let you go, and it might have just automatically kicked you over to your other call or something like that. So, all right, dude. All right, thanks, Trevor. Just block the dude and just let it go. So, sorry, oops, I hung up on him. But yeah, like that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm not interested in arguing with people about nothing. You know what? The only thing I would really, like I said, like to know is where did this guy come from? Like, what is his dog in the fight? Is he a nerd gamer who used to know the guys from the old show from the first time around and thinks that like they're gonna like him for this, or it doesn't make sense to me. That's what I don't understand. So that's the only bit of information that I actually care about. Is it? So Amanda's in there saying, "Don't block him." You don't have to block him, Trevor. I'm just telling you that, like, this is a guy who literally wants attention. Like, the fact that we're talking about him right now is what he wants. He thinks that he thinks he's interesting. Which is what crazy people do when they're doing crazy things. They think that they're being interesting, but it's not. It's just insane behavior that just seemingly getting worse. And that, again, is why I didn't bring the dude up or talk about the dude for weeks. Because of what I said. The guy starts calling my fucking dad like a fucking maniac. And I'm sure he's probably called him since. I'm sure he's probably still doing. He's probably doing it right now. I mean, he's just a fucking maniac. And then, like, he thinks now I'm going to get all triggered and start yelling and going off and blah, 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 blah. But no, I'm over it. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Say whatever you want. Run your mouth all you want. Go in your fucking group and say whatever the fuck you want. I really don't care. Here, where did you come from? Who are you? Why do you? What is your fucking problem?
You had some loser call in for views,
now this is what this guy's gonna say. Now he's gonna accuse me of making this all up, having one of my people call. Oh my God. We are literally dealing with the fucking crazy person, guys. This is insane. Okay. I'm not even going to bother giving this person the chance to say this, but okay. So I'll just say it for him. He's claiming that I had Trevor call in and make up this story so I could try to get more views. What in the? We are dealing with a psychopath, a straight up fucking psychopath, people. Whoa. Wow. What a lunatic. People think I'm fucking nuts? Holy crap. People saying Operation Icebox. No, I'm not upset at all. I'm very confused. Yeah. I'm not going to let that guy come on here and spew lies just to try to make me look bad. Bad Bustum, or whatever your name is. What a fucking liar that guy is. Chance, you're a fucking liar, dude. You know it. You are a psychopath liar. And that's all there is to it, buddy. Wow. So finishing up the D1 story. Oh my God, I can't even with these people. I'm just like, what in the world is matter with is what kind of psychopath person does what this person is up to right now? Like, I cannot even wrap my head around it. And so wow. So Chance, I just want to get this straight. You're telling me that I had Trevor call in, that was all made up? That was all made up?
I think that you're doing whatever you can to like push this narrative on the show. You have nothing else interesting going on. There's nothing else interesting.
I was actually in the middle of another story, and so when did I called that? So that's what I'm asking you. Are you saying that I had Trevor call and made that all up?
I assume you did. I don't know.
This
why
is your
else you
chance
would lie
to
about
be
that and
tell
say
the
that,
truth.
bro.
Did you or are you saying that I had Trevor do that? Yes or no?
Yes. What else could it be?
You are
How would I get his fucking number, dude? You are a liar.
The same way you got my parents' number, the same way you got my number. You use
Never
background checks to
happened.
look up
Never
people's phone number.
happened.
You looked up his full name. It's interesting. Why didn't you call anybody else who doesn't have their full name in the chat?
Why would I
Because you know
anybody, dumb?
Because you are trying to create some sort of narrative here, Chance, that I'm harassing you when you are now harassing me, my family, my listeners too.
I don't know what your end goal is. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't. Like, you're trying to get content off me?
Is this guy crazy? Are you guys watching and hearing the same thing I'm hearing right now? Here, you do the show. Here, since you're so good at it, go. That was your chance. You blew it.
It'll be better
All
than
right, well, you blew it. What?
Okay.
Huh? What false narratives? What false narratives, dude? You're a fucking liar. You're harassing me and my family, and you think it's funny, and then and then you make up stories to try to, and then you just lie. You're a fucking liar, dude.
It's like the Mikey thing, man. You said I tried to do something mean to Mikey. He said his name on the show before. Why is it bad to say people's names, man? I don't get it. Oh, I call in and say Sean, you don't get mad, do you? Mr. Street, you don't freak out. You said his name already. You're fucking...
I'm what?
Okay.
I don't like you. That's why I don't let you on the show. I don't like you.
It's not about letting me on the show. When I call in, you accuse me of harassing Mikey.
You are.
You accuse me of calling...
Now you're harassing my call. You're lying right now. You're a fucking liar. You're a chump-ass loser liar, dude. Have something to do that isn't a lie.
Content.
You're a liar. You are lying through your teeth, bro.
You want me to tell you what it is? I'll tell you what it is. Your show's not going anywhere, and now you're trying to use me as content. That's what it seems like.
You're calling me, you dumb fuck. You call me.
Dude.
I didn't call you. You called my phone number, you dork. You logged into my channel.
Bro.
You called into my channel, you dork. You called me. You're obsessed with me. I went up. Did I bring you up? Did I bring you up today? Did I bring you up today?
Yes, you did when you had fucking what's-his-face call.
Bro.
Dude.
What is wrong with you?
You're bringing me up without bringing me up.
What is wrong? What is wrong with you? What happened to you? What happened to you that you think that, like, you are a weird person? You're a weirdo, bro. You're a weirdo making up strange...
I'll tell you how this started.
I would love to hear, please.
I called in with criticisms before, which will not be spoken, and now you have a vendetta against me, and you keep trying to use me to go and make your show more interesting or something. I don't know.
No, called I didn't talk about you for 2 weeks because you were harassing my family.
Never happened. I don't know what you want from me.
Oh, I don't. So I want you to be honest because you keep calling me a liar. Yet you are the Mr. Holier Than Thou, calling me out about what happened with Larry and Lou, about stuff that I've told you 1,000 times.
You're bringing that up. I'm not bringing that up.
But if that's what you want me to talk about,
you don't want to talk about things.
No, I'm honest about it. I'm not able to talk about it. I've told you that 1,000 times. I'm not able to talk about it. Period.
Okay.
That's it. That's the answer.
Okay.
Take it or leave it.
Between the lines, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, you too.
See, you listen and watch every day. You're obsessed with me. Why does your obsession go beyond after 9 p.m. when you call people? Will you call my phone after the show, bro? I got the records of it right here. You called me doing a soundboard the other night. And what is your obsession with this guy in Akron? What is this Chance Wilkins guy in Akron that you're obsessed with?
Who?
You know who I'm talking about. The guy whose fake address, the address you gave me and the name you gave me. You're using his name.
I never gave you an address,
Oh
bro.
my God. This guy is a liar, you guys. Holy shit. The first time he called my phone, I said, why don't you
you've
tell
been
me?
trying to figure out and dox me since the first time I called, and you think that I'm fucking
Do you not remember
Mr.
this?
Wilkins?
Do you not remember when you called me and you gave me the address? I'm not going to say the address on the air. I'm not an idiot, you moron. I know that's what you're trying to get me to do. Are you too stupid? Are you too stupid? Are you too stupid to remember when you called me on my phone off air, the first time you called me on my phone off the air, and I told you, why don't you give me your address and I'll come and we'll finish this man to man if you really have that much of a problem with me. And then you gave me an address, and it was an address for some guy in Akron who you obviously have a beef with because you use his name on my show, Chance. So who is Chance Wilkins to you? What is this accused pedophile to you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why you pause, because you're trying to think and figure out everything. You can't even keep up with your own. I'm so far ahead of you, dude.
I'm trying to keep up with these delusions,
you can't keep up with me.
You're fucking schizophrenic.
Every single thing I say to you, you're claiming is a lie. So everything I say is a delusion, and I'm just, man, I should not be doing YouTube. I should be writing stories for Hollywood with as imaginative as I am.
You're not that entertaining, though. You're not entertaining in any facet of your life.
According to you, all of what you're doing and what I just came up with, this whole delusion that I just came up with, you just said is very entertaining yourself. So which is it? It is or isn't entertaining?
I didn't say it was entertaining.
Because
you're trying to make it entertaining. You're trying hard, I can tell.
I'm not actually.
But you're not cutting the mustard, buddy.
No, I'm watching you crumble on the phones like you always do, like your friends in your Reddit group even say about you, buddy. Even your friends in your Reddit group say you crumble on the phones when I pick you up.
I don't even go, dude. I don't even really go on Reddit, man.
Yes,
I don't go on Reddit.
Yes, you do. You're lying again. Another lie. You had a whole account in there. You've done multiple accounts dedicated to me. You're lying again.
How do you know that? How do you know?
Because you leave too many breadcrumbs. You leave too many breadcrumbs, you dumb shit.
Okay, I'm a security guard that works on C shift that lives in Akron, Ohio, dude.
No, I didn't say you live in Akron.
You're putting it together.
I asked you about your thing in Akron. What is your obsession with this guy, Chance? Because your name's not really Chance.
I'm sorry you
what
feel
is
like
your
you're
obsession?
being
No. Answer my
buddy.
question. What is your obsession? Did this guy do something to you? What is your obsession with him, Chance? Were you diddled by this Chance guy in Akron? What happened to you? What is your problem with him? Did your mom date him or something? Because it looks like the kind of guy your mom would be into.
You like talking about people's parents, don't you?
Just yours. Just your mom. Just your mom, because I know the type of person the type of mom you obviously had.
What about we talk about your mom? Isn't she a hoarder? Didn't she like fucking fuck all your friends?
No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But you want to say all these.
Fuck all my friends. What are you talking about? Where do you come up with this stuff?
You said your mother would use you to try to hook up with younger men, bro. You're projecting your fucking traumas onto other people.
I definitely didn't say that. I said when my mom got drunk, she would be interested in younger men, is what I said. You're changing.
Just like you're interested in extremely young girls, right?
You're twisting.
Dude, there's a pattern with you and your family. It's disgusting.
Bro, can you say anything that's completely original? Because you're just taking stuff that I said and trying to twist it into being even like more weird than I already am. So go right ahead, dude. Nobody watching this thinks I'm a normal dude. Like, when are you going to get that through your brain, bro? So again, where did you come from? What is the start of it? What is your origin story? And why do you have this obsession with this guy in Akron?
I don't know why you keep going down these things I already tell you no. So you have trouble taking no for an answer.
Because you're a liar, and I know you're lying because you take these big ass brief pauses.
You're a liar. I called you a liar, and you haven't proved one thing different. You haven't.
What are you talking about? There's nothing to prove to you. I don't have anything.
Did you shave a 12-year-old girl's legs before?
No.
But I'm not even talking about that.
No.
But okay, sure. Okay.
No,
you're
a
liar.
No, I didn't. It was for a radio show that I did, you dumb fuck. It was a bit for a radio show.
Some things you say is fake and some things you say is real. Pick and choose. I think that you are just a fucking liar.
Hey, guy, guess what? It's called entertainment. Keep up, you fucking dork. You're fucking so stupid.
Is that what you're calling it
You're
now?
the dumbest person I've ever met in my life. So, okay, so now we've just gotten down to one thing that isn't true. So now I love how you brought up the thing with the leg shaving from 20 years ago that was a made up bit.
If you do something to a child 100 years ago, it's still wrong.
It was
still
a
wrong,
bit,
and you're wrong then, and you're
dummy.
wrong now.
It was a bit. It never happened, you moron. God, you're so stupid.
So you're a liar then. You will say anything for a bit. This is a bit. This whole thing is a bit.
Yeah,
right?
It's a bit that you're calling my listeners. It's a bit that you're calling my listeners and calling my dad, and you're trying to get me to go after some guy in Akron.
Never happened, buddy.
Okay,
stop
so
accusing me.
everything that I just
slander.
said, so all the stuff I'm admitting to, now all of a sudden I just make up lies for you. God, you're such a fucking loser, dude. Go fuck yourself. You're out of here, dude. Anybody that says the word chance in my chat from now on, Secret ADS mod, even if they're a member for anything, if you say that word from now on, that you're out of here, because the guy's a stalker and a liar, and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. So that is the new rule. If you bring him up in the chat from now on, you're out of here, because I'm not going to even say his name. So it's done. Sorry, I'm over that guy. The guy's a liar and a piece of shit, and I'm tired of him getting mad. I'm tired of getting mad on my own show for no fucking reason. I don't have anybody here to back me up. So you know what? The dude can go fuck himself. And again, if you bring that dude up in my chat again because he is a stalker and that's all there is to it, you're out. I can't have any mention of that guy from now on because he is absolutely crazy. So we're going to take a quick break while I calm down. So guys, that's it. I'm done with that. Because I'm dealing with an absolute delusional psychopath that is literally just trying to get me riled up. He's out. And if you bring him up and say, that's great when you yell at him or whatever, I don't even want to hear that. It's it. He's done. Don't bring him up ever again because he's a stalker. Okay? It's not funny. It's nothing. There's nothing funny about that guy because now he's harassing chat people. So if you have your whole first and last name in there, get ready to be stalked by the guy because he's lying. He's lying. He's stalked the listener. He's stalked my dad. He's been harassing me on my phone. And now he's sitting here lying about it, trying to make me out to look like some sort of psychopath. So from now on, that is the rule. If you mention that word in my chat in any sort of context relating to that person anymore, you are out of here because it will just piss me off and it will distract me. And I'm trying to stay positive and not have to deal with that shit. So if you want to be a troll, mention that guy's name and you will be out and that'll be it. So I'm going to take a break. Hey, I know you guys love when I get mad, so make sure you like tonight's video. I know everybody loves that so much because I just love getting mad so much when I'm just trying to fucking talk and talk about my fucking weekend. Jesus fucking Christ. Be right back on another dumb show. Hang on. Swear to fucking God. It's not one thing, it's another. Hi, welcome back to another Dumb Show. I'm another Dumb Show host. Welcome back to issue number 88. Glad to have you guys here. What a fucking great night. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Just trying to have a fucking nice night. Get accused of being a liar, which is probably the number one thing that makes me the most angry in the world, is being accused of lying. What a fucking... Fuck that motherfucker. What a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, it's one of those nights now. All right, get another beer. Pissed off now. Fucking bullshit. Man, I hate getting fucking mad. I hate getting mad. Hate it. People think I love raging out. People think it's so fucking great when I rage out. I fucking hate it. It's why I get so mad when I get mad. Because I'm mad, then I'm mad. And then it escalates. Because I'm just mad. And then I just get mad, then I'm mad. It's the Hulk effect. It really is. It's just like the Incredible Hulk, guys. The angrier I get, then I'm angry. And it just snowballs. And there's just no stopping it. Sometimes Operation Icebox ain't even enough, baby. There ain't enough ice in the fucking world sometimes to calm me down. So, man, fucking, I'm on one. So, yes, that is the official last mention. If you are just getting here after the break, no more mentioning that name or any reference even a little bit, even in a joking manner. If it makes me think of that person, delete it or don't say it, because it's just going to piss me off. And I don't want to be pissed off. I don't. I spent too many years being pissed off about the wrong shit. And I don't feel like being pissed off on my own show because some person is calling and harassing me and harassing my listeners and harassing my family and then calling me a liar about it. So I don't want to put up with that on my own show. I won't put up with that on my own show. And certainly don't want to have to put up with it in the chat either. So I hope you guys will respect my wishes as official members of the League of Dummies. That's all there is to it. So Amanda says, I love you, bud. I think you're a wonderful person. I push it. Shark said, you get mad because you're alive. No, I'm not mad because I'm alive. My life is fine. Life is good. Life is actually just fine for me. The wedding business is good. The show is going well. We just cracked a huge, we're getting we have over 300,000 watch hours. I mean, so the show's doing fine. It's been back for 2 months. I don't expect us to be at the Jake Paul, Mr. Beast numbers overnight here, guys. The reality of it is I know the show is a long way to go. I know that, but it's all about plugging away. And I don't think that that shit is content by any means. Pat Louie said, a wise man once told me he'd rather be pissed off than pissed on. No, well, then you know what? I'm not going to get pissed on my own show. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to put up with it. There's no reason for me to do it. I got pissed on somebody else's show for a lot of years, and I allowed it to happen. Just sat there, kept my mouth shut a lot of times because that's just the way it was as far as hierarchy stuff. And so I don't have to do that here. I just don't. So that's all there is to it. So I would prefer if we just get rid of all that, because it's just going to get deleted, because I don't feel like being angry anymore. I just want to have fun, talk about stuff that's going on in my life, stuff I did over the weekend, stuff I see that's interesting in the news. Eventually, when there's something worth stunt-worthy doing and things like that, we'll do it. But you know what? I'm not just going to randomly come up with a fucking stunt just for the sake of doing it. It's not how things work. It wasn't how it worked on the old way, and it wasn't how it worked now. There was always a reason why we were doing stuff. Trust me. So there you go. There's a little behind the scenes. There you go. You fucking break. I think that's really what the problem is with this group of nerds that are obsessed with me. they didn't like the old show, or they loved the old show for some reason. And then they, at some point, wised up. Just like, could you remember the point in time when like you were watching WWE and then like in the middle of watching WWE, it all just kind of clicked in your fucking head? You know, you remember that moment, and you either chose to like WWE from then on, or you'd not. You don't go in a group, create a group about it, just to hate on the thing that you used to like because it's not what you thought it was. Well, it can still be what you think it is if you choose to, or you can or you can just become a complete psychopath weirdo and latch on to the wrong stuff and spend your whole life being unhappy instead of just don't watch WWE anymore if you don't like it. That's it. This is so weird to me, guys. I just don't understand this. I will never, ever, ever understand it. So yeah, I just don't get it, man. I don't understand it. So I'm just gonna keep plugging away, guys. I'm gonna try not to lose my temper again. I'm not gonna say that won't happen again, but if people act like normal human beings to me, I never get angry at them. Never. You act like a normal human being to me, I don't get angry at you. You do weird shit, I start getting angry. That's all there is to it. Like when I fucking finally flipped out on B1, it was that, well, I was drunk that time. I'll admit I was pretty drunk. But there's a buildup. You know, it was like, just like what I talked about this weekend. We were supposed to talk. And then we never got around to talking. And first it was because she went to Cedar Point on Saturday. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. And then, hold on, Mikey, I'll get you in a sec, dude. I see you're on. Oh, are you here? Oh, shit, Mikey's here. Oh, fuck. What's up, dude? How are you, dude? I didn't even see you down there. What's going on, bro? I had you muted by accident. I'm sorry, dude. How are you?
It's all good. I was just chilling down there, getting caught up on what happened, the happenings.
Are you quiet on your end, or is it just me? Because it's a little hard to hear you.
Oh, no.
There you go. Yeah, just keep that up by your mouth. I think that was just a little far away.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Yeah, I caught some of the comings and goings. We've got a band name now, which is good.
Yeah, just band, honestly, just conversation, period. Just, I don't know if you saw what happened, but he called.
Not worth the conversation.
Well, now I'll tell you. I don't know if you even saw what happened, but
I saw some of it. He was starting to harass listeners and
yeah.
somebody from the chat, and that's just no thanks.
Yeah,
he's at an unhealthy level of stalking right now.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the word I was looking for. It's just unhealthy. It's weird. And then to call and accuse me of doing the thing you're doing, that's straight up nutto behavior. That's crazy people stuff.
And he does just crumble on the phone. Absolutely, just
Oh, I know, and that's like
nothing.
Like people who are good liars, there's no break in between. Like when you ask them the question that they're lying about, they just bang, they just roll with it.
Right into the next one,
yeah, exactly.
Remember the lies, and the whole key is you got to believe your own lies.
You can't keep up with it. So anyway, but yes, that is officially all we will say about that dude.
Yeah, but so there was no talk. That's all I've been waiting to ask for all.
So yes, we were. I thought maybe we'd talk on Saturday since I didn't have a wedding, but I forgot that she was going to Cedar Point. So she goes to Cedar Point, and when I say goes to Cedar Point, I mean we're talking like an all-day affair, like 7 a.m. to like midnight. They were there the whole time.
Get your money's worth.
Not really. They were waiting in lines for 3 hours at one point. 3 hours for a 1 minute and 30-second ride.
Don't they offer fast passes?
Yeah, but I think it was her dad. It was like a whole family of people. It was her and her dad, and like there was like 10 of them there or something like that. Yeah, so that was not in the cards. But what crazy thing did happen was, so they waited in this line for like 3 hours, and then right as the car before them these rich people got to jump the line because they had not a fast pass, but I guess if you're uber rich, you can actually pay to have an appointment and like at a certain time to jump on, and you just hop all the lines.
That's what I want.
That's rich, right? So these people did this, but guess what happened? Rich people karma, bad karma. They go up the fucking thing. It stops at the top of the hill. They got stuck up at the top of the hill for 45 minutes.
Oh, what great karma. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All their Xanax was down in their purse, too.
No phones, nothing, because like they make you take all your phones and put them in bins or leave them down with people who aren't on the ride or whatever because they don't want those projectiles or whatever. So yeah, B1's family, I guess, was down there taking pictures, wondering if it was her that was stuck up on the car because they knew that they were getting close and been up there for a while. But the people ended up, they didn't have to walk down like that happened a couple of weeks ago, but they just finally got it to turn back on and they rode back around. And
dude,
and then they actually
walk down is one of my biggest fears. Like, oh my God, dude, my legs would be shaking. The whole railing would just be going nuts.
I'd have to sit on my butt and go one at a time and scoot like with one eye half closed and one eye open. Like that's probably the only way I'd be able to do it. Honestly,
I think they'd need to get like one of them bucket trucks and have a fireman like strap something to me and save me that way because that's the only way I'd get down.
They might have to actually like knock me out, like those kids in that cave that they knocked out and swam through underneath because they knew the kids would never make it. They might have to knock me out and carry me down.
I never watched that movie or read the rest of the story about what happened because I'm so freaked out by the claustrophobia.
Oh, dude, they put, speaking of Xanax, they tranquilized the kids, strapped them to the back of divers, and swam them back through.
Nope.
All knocked out. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. I can't believe they were able to do that. It was absolutely nuts. Let's see. I'm going to take a phone call here. Obviously, if it's Bitch Boy, I'm just going to hang up. But let's see. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Hi, you're on another dumb show.
Hi, you're on.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. It's just playing back audio of us, of our own show. Cool. So, yes. By the way, clearly the phones are working. I don't know what happened. I've got them working. So if you want to call in, 844-HIT-DUMB. I pay for these damn phones. I'd love to have you call into them. So, anyway, so yeah, she goes to Cedar Point. She watches this couple get stuck up, or this rich family get stuck up at the top. And I guess she had a good day there. Her sister was dancing and doing like her sister's in some like high school dance group, so they're doing flag shit and all that. And then apparently on all these rides though, later on, there were no lines. Like late once it got dark, the park emptied. And they had no lines, so they were able to ride just back-to-back roller coasters. And she is deathly afraid of heights herself, just like we were just talking about. Like we went to a water park one time, and halfway up to the top, walking up the stairs, she had a complete mental breakdown and like crumpled and was hanging on the railing and saying, I didn't realize I'm so scared of heights, and like started freaking out to the point where she had to like, I can't even remember if she went all the way up or she went back down, but yeah, she really crumbled and freaked out. It was really not a good scene. That's when she realized she's afraid of heights. So I was surprised that she did all these roller coasters because it's way out of her comfort zone. But being as afraid of heights, of course, what are you going to do when you're on a roller coaster? Scream your fucking head off, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is the universe trying to say something or what, but she completely lost her voice from screaming. I mean, it's literally, she talks, it's like this, and you can't talk hardly at all now. It's really bad.
Broken?
Yeah, but I'm not trying to do all that. I way too fast to text her, and I'll go fucking nuts. Waiting for her to answer. Yeah, there's no way I would be able to do that to be a text message. We've done enough of that. That's the point. We've done plenty.
Any talk of the talk, or has it just been ignored altogether?
No talk whatsoever. None.
Oh no. So
Yeah.
not even a mention of said talk. Not even like, I know I said we was going to talk. We still have to talk. The talk
No.
is yet to come, but it is still coming. It's
Nope.
just been, Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell him we're gonna have a talk, so he backs off, and then I'm just gonna stall him as long as I can.
I don't know what the reasoning is, but yeah, no mention of, I know we were supposed to talk, which is part of what I think why Saturday I was so kind of bummed out, because there was not even a, hey, I know I'm going to Cedar Point. Maybe we'll talk tomorrow sometime. Do you have the boys? Like, no even like scheduling it. So, which is part of what the problem was. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I used to always say. So now I'm like, I don't get it. Like, you're the one who initiated this. You're the one who's like trying to put the wheels in motion and talk one way or the other. And now you don't. So it was like, it drove me crazy. So maybe that's why I'm just edgy today too. I don't know. Maybe that's why I flew off the handle a bit. I got a phone call here. PDJ, you're on Another Dumb Show. What's up?
What's going on, brother? I want to ask you about a recent news story in the local area.
Oh, okay. What's the story? I don't know if I've seen much local news lately, but what's going on?
So there's this girl that was driving around with her boyfriend and his friend, and she murdered them by crashing into a median, I believe.
I actually did. I do know this story, actually, though. I'm familiar with this. I just talked to, we were just talking about B1. We just mentioned, the story was on, she was actually stopped by earlier and burned with me. And this story popped up on the news. And before they went into the details of it, she just saw the headline of it and said, how would they know that what she did? How would they be able to prove that she was actually trying to kill somebody when she drove into the wall going 100 miles an hour? Because that's what the charges are, is that she drove intentionally into a wall going 100 miles an hour to try to kill her boyfriend. Mackenzie Shirilla is her name, right?
Yeah, and she was charged guilty today.
Yes, and I don't know did they sentence her yet? I know there were talks of her being sentenced to life in prison for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like she's going to do a serious amount of time for this, but I'm also like on the fence with it along with you. I don't know how you can actually determine whether it was on purpose or not.
Well, what I watched, what I saw on the news was the way they were able to, and it seems a little flimsy, I'm not going to lie to you, was that they showed video. Oh, I think she'd done some kind of posts online too. Not really, I don't remember exactly what the posts were online, but I think she had done some kind of strange posts online prior to the accident or the crash or whatever you call it. But the news was saying they interviewed the lawyers for the prosecution, and they said that they had video of her driving normally just minutes before this happened, using her turn signal, stopping at stop signs, making normal turns, not driving erratically whatsoever. So that was what they said was, I think, the convincing evidence to actually convict this girl and say that they believe that she actually did it intentionally. But you disagree with that?
I don't think it's admissible. You can't say that somebody drives through the area and drives correctly, and then an accident happens, and then they're guilty of murder.
It was admissed. It was definitely in court, so it was admissible. It may not be believable, but the jurors apparently believed it, and the judge agreed, I guess. Well, I'm wondering what the official sentencing was, if I missed it. Hold on, let me see.
She was guilty.
Life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years.
That was the official sentencing, Mikey?
That's her official sentencing. And
wow.
I'm reading right now. THC in her system, but that it was a calculated mission. I've read this quote like 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
A precise mission to kill him because she wanted to break up with him. Like what?
Yeah.
Like how? That's
yeah. I mean,
proof.
The easiest way is the easiest way, honestly, if you want to break up with somebody, is just keep telling them that you want to talk to them and just drag it out for weeks on end. I mean, that's obviously the easiest way to do it. Much easier than taking them in a... I mean, B1, God, if you want to get rid of me, You don't have to take me in a car and drive me into a wall. It's just that simple, I promise.
Dumb.
Just say it, I'm done.
Dumb. Don't take a ride to Streetsboro, Bell.
She's gonna say, "I'm gonna come pick you up and take you for a ride so we can talk."
Oh no, she's not like that. I don't want. She's gonna think that people are gonna. Nobody thinks you're crazy, B1. Nobody's implying you would do that. You're just being silly. She's gonna think that.
Dumb. She's gonna take you to ride to Lake Erie, baby.
Yeah, right. That's so funny. So, all right. Well, thank you for bringing that up, PDJ, because I had that in my stuff. I just didn't really know. It's funny. I didn't really think of really like what to talk about as far as that story until right before when B1 said it. She's like, "How would they be able to prove that?" And I was wondering too. Do they have some sort of data too with the way she pressed the pedal? Like, was it still being held down when they drove into the wall? Is that kind of telemetry stuff taken into account, I wonder? And they just don't go into all that on the news because it's too technical? I don't know. It's
I think it has a lot to do with text. If her text messages have a lot saying a crazy conversation between her and the boyfriend,
that's what
I think that.
I haven't been able to find that conversation. I know there was some sort of conversation that they had or something that she said in text messages, but I just haven't been able to find that part of the story. So,
yeah, they wouldn't put that out because that's part of the investigation. But I think that there's something that is not in the public just yet.
Well, 2 weeks before the crash, she allegedly threatened to crash her vehicle when she was driving with the victim, Russo, because she was upset over a disagreement they had. Russo had called his mother and asked to be picked up, and a friend ended up retrieving him. In a phone call with Russo, the friend allegedly overheard Shirilla, the driver, say, "I will crash this car right now," prosecutor said in court documents. So there you go, just kind of what you were saying. There's a witness, in a phone call who heard her say that she was planning on doing it.
Can I ask you this, though? Have
Sure.
you ever been in the heat of this situation where you've said things that you wouldn't actually do, but you just say things? You know what I mean? When you get heated, sometimes you say stuff and you don't mean it. So
mine is more
it's
stuff I would do
weird.
to mine. Like in my crazy days, it was like something I would do to myself versus like I would versus hurting the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would, that kind of thing. It wouldn't be anything like that because I never was. I was like, it would be more of a self-destruct thing versus a hurt the other person kind of a thing.
Yeah, more self-deprecating.
Well, just I just don't want to hurt other people. You know what I mean? It's just easier to hurt myself, I guess. I don't know. Well, PDJ, now that I got you on the phone, I just want to say thanks again for sending over that awesome audio that you made for me for Operation Icebox. I really appreciate you doing that for me. I probably should have whipped it out earlier, but I was in full blown. I was hulking at that point, and I don't think anything was going to stop that.
You needed to be in the icebox at that moment.
Yeah, I don't think anything was going to do. I don't think that anything was going to stop Operation Icebox this time around.
That smooth beat would have.
Oh wait, hold on one sec. What is this? What is that?
That was the beat. That was that fire beat.
Oh, that was the wrong one. I was playing the other one. My bad. I was trying to play this one. There you go. Oh, I hit the wrong button. My bad. Yes, this should have gone into effect earlier, but I was way past this. I was in full-blown Hulk mode at that point. So again, I appreciate you making this though, PDJ. It's very creative and it is great. I love the sound. Like it's perfect with the jail beat, man, because it really does remind me of like one of those shows like Doing Time or Oz or whatever, because that's seriously exactly what would happen to me. I would go up, I'd get in trouble, I'd get sent to the principal's office, he wouldn't be there, and they would put me in this little back room that was just this little cinder block room with tan walls that was about 6x8, had a little tiny door. It was basically a little prison that they put me in until I chilled out. And it usually worked, to be honest with you. Once I got in there and just had time to chill out, I would be fine, because it was me always reacting to some punk ass being a little troll, usually. I've been dealing with little punk asses like that my whole life. I literally, because I'm easy trigger, and they know it. I've been dealing with that forever, since I was a little kid, man. So
he sounds like a little punk, and I just want to say that I took time to curate that specifically for you, brother, and I love you, bro. I love the show, and keep it up, bro.
I appreciate it, dude. Thank you, PDJ. Again, I do appreciate you so much doing that for me. And it was nice that he actually curated it just for me. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever had anybody curate anything just for me. Now let's see. I do actually, somebody else who might need some Operation Icebox, or who looks like Operation Icebox actually worked on this weekend, is Ty Gibbs. I watched some racing this weekend on Saturday when I was trying to kill some time, and I had I watched a really good race at Watkins Glen, Mikey. I know you had an opportunity to go to Watkins Glen to watch a race.
I did. I watched it at home.
Did you watch the Xfinity race, though, on Saturday? That was the good race.
No, I did not. I watched the second. I watched the
Sunday
for NASCAR or whatever.
Sundays.
I turned it off. As soon as McDowell had that penalty day, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, Sundays was okay. I'll be honest with you. Sunday's race was not really that great of a race. It was okay. It was some decent racing.
Chase, man. He made that jump, that 7-spot jump from 14th to 6th right there, and I was like, oh, he's got a chance in stage 2, and then he just couldn't do it. Nothing.
They were just they weren't as aggressive as I was hoping they would be. I don't know why, but it just seemed like the whole race there was not as much rubbing as I was hoping for, especially after what I watched on Saturday. Because in the Xfinity race, Ty Gibbs was just whooping ass the whole race. And then they had a restart where he kind of rubbed Sam Mayer, who's like an Xfinity driver. Ty Gibbs goes in the Cup Series, but what's his name? Mayer is really more of an Xfinity driver. But in this race, there were 2 restarts right before the end. On the second to last restart, Ty Gibbs got into Mayer, and Mayer didn't really like it. Then there was another caution that came out, so they had another restart with, I think, 2 to go. And actually, I can show you exactly what happened. Now, mind you, I couldn't get it, for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to download from, where the hell is it? Where the hell is this video? Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, because I'm in the wrong day. What an idiot. All right, so there was some action on the track, and I had to record it because I couldn't get it to download, so I had to just kind of record it off of my screen, so it looks a little janky, but you get the gist of it.
Ty Gibbs looks like he's 12 years old, by the way.
He kind of does, to be honest with you, but he's a good racer, man.
Is he like wasn't there a Gibbs racing family?
Joe Gibbs, the old Washington football Commanders or Redskins coach. He's a
coach, NASCAR owner. He's won a couple cups with drivers under him and stuff like that.
I think that's his kid. I'm pretty sure that's his kid or his grandson, maybe. I think it's his grandson because he's pretty young and that guy's pretty old. So here they are. This is after the final restart before they wrap things up with 2 to go. Play. Gibbs in a turn 1, contact made. He's tagged. So that was after. So you'll see that's Sam Mayer on the inside. Now, Mikey, I don't know
about that.
What now?
I'm blaming it on the lead car.
Okay.
Clear to come down.
I kind of felt the same way. I kind of felt like the two of them, they almost drove into each other on purpose almost. Like Sam went high, Gibbs went low, and Gibbs paid for it because he caught him on the corner panel. See what I mean? Because see how Sam, like Gibbs has got to give up that spot for sure.
He does.
But Sam's also got to let off a little just to make that freaking turn. You know what I mean? So he's diving in for sure. He's a little loose, but now
he's not clear though.
He's not clear. So he might have to check up there, but if he checks up, there's a chain reaction behind him too. So it's he claims that it was a car hop that caused it, and that's why he got up into him. Yeah. So I think that's, I mean, clearly, it could go either way. It really could be read either way, but considering what had just happened, the restart before that, when Gibbs got into Mayer, I think that this definitely was probably a little bit retaliatory right here. So there you go. These two have had some history in the past, though. I don't know if you know that. Have you ever seen the scuffle between the two of them?
No.
That happened, I think it was after Martinsville. Oh no, where is it?
Is this the clip where he socks him right in the face?
Son of a bitch. Yeah, here, Mikey, hold the fort for a sec. Check in with the chat for a sec for me. Let me download this video because I know I have it. I just, for some reason, it didn't download. So give me a sec here to get this video.
I remember seeing one clip earlier in the year of a really good punch in the really good punch in the face, and you can hear the audio come through really well.
All right, in there. Let's get
another update on gambling for me. I lost more money this weekend gambling on the UFC.
What's that? Somebody in the chat's asking about gambling for you?
No, I was just thinking about gambling because we're talking about racing and everything like that. And I was just thinking.
Okay. I don't know what just happened. It was downloading and then it just stopped. What just happened? Where's the video at? There we go. Hold on one sec. Wrong one. So what about gambling? You're gambling again?
Dude, I just have this thing that I just think that I'm gonna gamble so well when it comes to UFC fights because I owe them so much, but it's just so wrong. I'm just so bad. So
all right.
I didn't pay for the fights though, so I guess that's good.
Oh, so wait, so you watched UFC and you gambled on it, or you didn't watch UFC? You just gambled on it.
I watched the UFC. I didn't pay for it. I streamed it, and then I gambled on it instead of paying for it, and I still lost the same amount of money as if I would have bought it.
That's funny. I'm gonna have to start keeping up with all these different fights. I can never remember when they're coming on. I did get all the ESPN notifications, but I'm usually working.
You got ESPN Plus?
For I think a couple months, I think left. Then it runs out. I think I came with my phone plan or something.
8 a.m.
What's next Saturday morning at 8 a.m.?
The next UFC fight card.
At 8 a.m.?
Yeah, they're fighting. I think in Singapore or I can't remember where it is, but they're doing the fight from like live prime time wherever they're at. So it's an 8 a.m. start. Main card start here, and Max Blessed Holloway's fighting, one of the best fighters of all time. So it's going to be a good card.
Okay.
And he's gonna piece the dude that he's fighting against. He's gonna piece him up like a 3-piece in a biscuit.
Now, Mikey, a little tip for you. When I say to read the chat, here is a great one for you to read. We cannot hear Mikey for fuck's sakes. That's definitely the one you should have read of all the ones in there to read. That's the one to read. I apologize, CB. My bad. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I didn't even. I saw the Mikey's highlighting for the 100th time. Oh my god, I'm so bad.
Oh, hold on. I just realized I have somebody on hold. Let's see if it's an actual caller or whatever. But hi, you're on another Dub Show. Hi, you're on another Dub Show.
Let Mikey talk.
Oh, nobody wants to talk to you. Go.
Let Mike.
Oy vey. Yikes! What a dork. Anyway, speaking of people who need to be punched in the face. I have a great video of people being punched in the face. Here is that video I found. Thank you for the segue. It's perfect. I found that video of Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer after Martinsville. And you can see the cars here are already crunched up. But this is great. So it picks up. Let's see if it picks up. Because, again, I had to just record this bad boy. But here you go. Right afterwards, the two of them are just kind of going at it. Little shovey. Sam takes his helmet off. Why does this look like this? Hold on one second. Let me go a little back out here. There we go. That's part of why we couldn't see anything. It was zoomed out too far. Sorry, guys. Hold on. There we go. Now we got a full screen there. So there's these two. Sam gets in his face. He pushes him in the helmet. That's a tough move to push a guy with a helmet on. And that's not the toughest move. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a smart move. Hit first if you're wearing a helmet.
I can see. God, Mikey, you would kick my ass in a fight because you would immediately just kick me right in the nuts, and the fight would be over. Because
I can't believe the guy in the helmet didn't headbutt him right away. It's the first thing I thought I would do. Is just grab him by his shirt and smash him with my helmet.
So, because I'm sitting here going, boy, what a punk move to punch him with a helmet on. Because he doesn't even have an opportunity to punch him back. And you're like, what a great move to punch him with a helmet on. That's great.
There's one rule in fighting. It's to win at any cost.
There are none, and to win, right? That's funny. Pat Wooey said, if you left your helmet on, you're a pussy. See? That's what I'm saying, man. So there we go.
I'm the biggest pussy in the world. I'll start headbutting anybody with a helmet on.
That was usually when I got into a brawl in football, we both had helmets on, and when I threw the punch, though, I grabbed him by his face mask and went right up, pulled his face mask up so I could have his chin. You know what I mean? And then that started the big bench clearing brawl, and my coach lost his wedding ring. It was crazy. They ended the game. Speaking of ending games, isn't that nuts to see a second game end early this weekend? Because of an injury?
And then they canceled their entire joint practices and that they had planned for the next week with another team.
I wonder why. Why did they change moving forward? Why did they cancel all that other stuff just because of one guy's head injury? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Maybe it's because the previous practices were getting too heated. I mean, you watch all these joint practices and everything, and all you do hear is about squabbles between all these teams.
Yeah, but that hit was incidental contact. They were same team head hit. So why? It doesn't make any sense to me. I wonder what there must be more behind it, I guess. But yeah, there have been a lot of squad squabbles. But there have been a ton of inter-squad squabbles. I have one with the Cowboys fighting themselves and stuff. So, I mean, there's all kinds of brawls going on. I think the Browns and the Eagles got into scuffles and stuff, too. I mean, that happens at all of them. But, I don't know, maybe Belichick's just trying to get rid of all that? I don't know.
Belichick hates the preseason.
Who does? I think the only person I've ever met in my life who likes it.
It's football. So I'm not going to, I don't get angry at watching football and being able, I watched it again all week and I still haven't seen the Vikings-Titans game yet because they keep replaying it at 4 a.m. in the morning and I can't bring myself to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the replay.
Well, there are some people who get mad watching football, Mikey. Did you see that brawl with at the 49ers Broncos game? Oh, man.
No, I did not. I love football stadium brawls, though.
This is a good one. Remember, we don't condone violence here on Another Dumb Show. We just show this to show what people shouldn't do if they have too much alcohol at a football game. This is what can happen. So you got to be careful.
Number one in a fight is run away.
That's right. You don't want to have anything to do with this poor girl. Really, is what I watched this video. I spent more time watching this poor girl stuck in the middle of this thing than anything else. To be honest with you, this girl.
Is she trying to split it up?
She's so lucky she doesn't get crushed. This whole thing was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. So here we go. Let me play this video. And what's weird about it is it seems like it's between all Niners fans. That I may be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like that's the case. So here you go. Watch the guy in the white shirt in the beard right in the middle. See that guy right there in the middle with the beard and the white T-shirt on? That's the guy you kind of want to keep an eye on because he seems to be the target of most of the aggression. And then you're going to see the poor woman in the middle. But what I love is the guy on the left, the big fat guy on the left,
happy man,
smiling his ass off. Look what I'm getting on camera, baby! Yeah. So here is a rumble, and also notice the guy with his face covered in the Jerry Rice jersey. Seems rather odd to have your face covered unless you have something in mind going into a fight. So you'll see there's the guy in the beard again.
Oh
boy. Oh
my
boy.
God, that guy that had the face covering on was a bad mother.
Yeah, that was a big dude. Now, I got to kind of fast forward through. Oh no, it's towards the end because I have a feeling this might have something to do with some colors, other than just Broncos blue and 49er red, because I saw a lot of hands getting thrown up in the air towards the end of it, with a lot of weird finger gestures and stuff, and I'm not talking the middle finger. So I think it might have been a couple sets or something going at it. Not really sure, but speculating. But yeah, this girl right here, this poor girl, not the old lady, but the poor Asian girl right in the middle. She's just getting trying so hard to get everyone to stop. And then it starts to pop off again a little bit. She's either trying to keep her boyfriend back or some other dude. Like, I just watched this and just feel so bad for her. And then you see in the back corner the guy who got beat down stumbling around.
Oh yeah, he's still weeble.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yep. He basically weeble wobbles his way all the way out of there. It goes on for a minute, but here I'll skip past most of it. But
he got mollywopped.
Why is that not muting? So he got, that big guy was raining down on him hard, but yeah, you see he's just started wobbling and just when he's standing there.
Oh yeah, dude. Do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg.
So that'll warn you, that'll teach you to be stupid at a football game around a giant. That guy's a giant.
He's leaking too.
Oh yeah, big time. So so that's what happened with that dude. That's what happened at that fight. That's the end of that. I forgot. I probably can't show that, but who knows? But yeah, these guys that get in these fights in these stands, I like. You got to know that is not a good place to get in those fights. Those stands fights, man, you're gonna end up getting hurt one way or another. Even if you win the fight, it's gonna hurt because you're gonna end up falling over backwards. Or just twisting yourself up all in one of the chairs or something like that.
I refuse to go to New Era Stadium. Or whatever they call it.
The Buffaloes one?
The Bills Stadium, yeah.
Just because you can't handle the Buffalo fans because you can't get along with them?
Nope, can't get along at all. The last 2 times we've gone there is for preseason games, and it's ended in squabbles in the parking lot.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Just because why? When you walk by wearing your Vikings jersey and somebody pops fly and you just can't help yourself if they do it, or
just have to remind them nonstop that they were a abysmal team for 20 plus years. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row and Scott Norwood went wide right, bitch.
And they get real mad about that.
They really do. Especially when they throw a beer at you and miss wide right and you just say, Scott Norwood.
That's pretty good, actually. That's good. I must really get under their skin. That's a Super Bowl reference for those of you who don't know sports ball. Scott Norwood is a kicker who missed a field goal wide right, allowing the Bills to lose their, I believe, was it the first or the second Super Bowl? I don't remember.
I don't know. All I know is they're the only team to lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine that. 4 years in a row, your team gets there and they just take giant shits.
My dad, old Struts, actually went to one of those Super Bowls. He went to the one out at the Rose Bowl.
No shit.
It was some job he worked with at the time. He either won it or something, some sales job he had or something. Yeah. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Good for him. So, speaking of football. And God, did I call this, guys? Remember how I told you when I went to the football game a couple weeks ago, or it's a little over a week ago now. By the way, and I got a comment from somebody on that video saying that I was a total dirtbag for bailing on my buddy halfway through the football game when I left drunk and Ubered home. Well, yeah, I know. I said that. I'm a jerk, and I owe him. I said that. I know that. I was a jerk move to leave early, but I really did him a favor because I probably would have puked in his car. By the way, B1 puked in her. That's what I was going the other day. B1 puked in her parents' car, too, on the way home from Cedar Point. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. See, I guess they had puke bags or whatever, so it wasn't like F1's wife, puking and crapping all over the car. Okay, but anyway, remember the last week when I went to the football game, I said to you guys that I think Bud Light is going to be just fine. Because remember all the Dylan Mulvaney stuff came out, and everybody went against Bud Light, and they're never going to bounce back from it. And Kid Rock decided to put a bunch of Bud Lights on a stump and shoot it with his AR-15, and in protest of not being cool with trans, I guess, or whatever the fuck it was. I really don't even understand it. But I said the other night when I went to the Browns game, Bud Light's going to be just fine. Because there were lots of Bud Lights flowing at that football game. Lots and lots and lots of Bud Lights going around. And I said, I bet you they're going to be just fine because they already have these contracts with all these football stadiums and arenas and things like that. And sure enough, old Kid Rock was at a concert this past week or weekend or whatever, and you'll see that dipshit was seen drinking a Bud Light. So I think if the person who's shooting at Bud Light with an AR-15 is able to swallow his pride enough, the American badass himself can swallow his pride enough to drink a Bud Light, I think Bud Light's going to be just fine. In the end, I think they're going to be just fine. Because, like I said, there were tons and tons and tons of bills or Bud Light getting poured at that Browns game. So, good luck trying to ban a beer because of trans rights. So, yeah, dumb right again. Just wanted to point that out. I'm starting to get on a little streak here of things.
You got to start gambling.
I know. Well, no, I'm right about dumb stuff that doesn't matter, like Kid Rock drinking beer. I mean, come on, what a big surprise! Kid Rock drank a beer. But speaking of that guy,
once a Bud Light drinker, always a Bud Light drinker.
It's not bad.
If you like piss, if you like piss water, I mean, it's definitely right up there.
If you like a good crappy light beer, you really can't go wrong with it. It's fine, especially out of a tap when it's nice and super cold. But most beer is good out of a tap, super cold. But I'm telling you what, the one I had the other night, I just remember drinking it going, it was pretty fucking good. It's pretty good. It's no IPA or Dortmunder or anything like that. If that's what you're looking for, that's not what you're going to get. If you want to buy the cheapest of all the beers at the stadium, that's going to probably be it. And it tastes pretty damn good. So I'll keep buying them. I totally forgot what I was going to say, though. Kid Rock. That dude used to be my favorite musician at one point. When Devil Without a Cause came out, I thought that dude was the coolest guy on the planet. Like, I know that sounds lame because he's Kid Rock now, but at the time, he was the American badass. He was the Devil Without a Cause. He was mixing rap and rock when that was a cool thing to do. So that was sweet, man. I loved that shit. I remember going to see him live and it being some of the best times of my life because, like, he was playing like he played all his hits, plus he was peppering in stuff like Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird and stuff like that, so you're getting some like epic concerts. He was going around playing every single instrument during songs and stuff. It was awesome. I used to think that guy was so fucking cool.
I love Joe C.
Everybody loved Joe C. Motherfucking Kid Rock was the early morning Stone Pimp with Joe C. It was the shit. I loved him. I was obsessed with Kid Rock. I was as big a Kid Rock fan as there was outside of dumping all my money and going to concerts because I was too busy putting it up my nose. So there was no way I could afford to go to his concerts. I was just listening to it and enjoying his lifestyle. Minus all the hoes. I was definitely not getting all the hoes at that point in my life. I was just partying like. But I just remember like, that was he was the coolest thing in the world to me, and I know that sounds so lame, but then when I got the opportunity to meet him, they always say don't meet your heroes because boy was I disappointed. He was not the early morning Stone Pimp. He was I am Bob Ritchie when we met, so that was not cool and not fun. But yeah, so it looks like Bud Light's going to be okay after all, even though not the early morning Stone Pimp is back to drinking it. And Speaking of music, I got an email. Oh, I got actually not only did I get an email, I got a phone call last night. I was out. I took my boys. I went and picked them up last night around like 6 o'clock and took them out to dinner last night. We went on a little date, the three of us, four of us, because Darla came. We have a restaurant that we like to go to where we can take Darla, and they got good burgers, and I can get a beer, and they got these like pretzels that we love, like good the good ballpark pretzels or whatever. That good soft pretzel, Mikey.
Oh, salty treat. Oh God, yeah.
Now the new thing is they're making these in these like these little gastro pubs. They're making soft pretzels in the restaurants now, fresh, like gourmet soft pretzels, like the little gastro pubs in Germany. That's what they have. So here's a picture actually of the boys. This is us out on our date night. This is them stuffing their faces with pretzels and enjoying themselves. We had a great time. We ended up going out and getting ice cream and everything afterwards. It was just a good night with the boys. We had a really good time. I was not drinking Bud Lights. I was drinking good beers. But when we went out to get ice cream, I got a phone call. And it was from my daughter. According to call ID, so it was my daughter. So I was like, hey, what's up, honey? And it's a guy going, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now. And I was like, what? And he goes, oh my God, Dom, I've been a fan of you since I was like 4 years old. And I was like, who is this? What are you talking about? And then I hear my daughter in the background yelling, Dad, it's cool. It's one of my friends. So apparently my daughter ran into some dude, friend of hers or whatever.
Can I talk to your dad?
And somehow it like came out in conversation. Yeah, my dad was dumb from Rover's Morning Glory, blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, like he fangirled to her. And then she didn't like, because this is not the first time, because she's mentioned it and people don't believe her. Like, why would anybody lie about me being related to me? Like, who would like brag about that? Like, I don't understand why that's some brag. But anyway, so she's had people call before. But this time, this guy like went nuts. He was like, oh my God, it's really you. I can't believe I'm talking to you. Blah, blah, blah. You know, all this stuff, kind of fangirling out. So that was really cool. And that's not the reason I bring it up. I bring it up is because apparently he's in the music industry and he does kind of like he plays in bands kind of freelance wise. And apparently he's going to be, I got an email from him because he said he was interested because Keely did a great job promoting the show. So thank you, Keely. Good job. Very proud of you. Way to go. So I actually got an email from this guy who called me the other night. His name's Colton. He said, hi, this is Colton. We talked on the phone. I wanted to either VMix in to talk a bit about the music industry and traveling within the industry. I'm a session player, not officially part of a band. I can move throughout them. I'm so glad Keely told me about the podcast. I can't wait to listen. You've been my favorite person to come out of RMG, and I'm so glad to get to follow your journey now. Serious props go to Keely. She plugged your show immediately. I have recently, at the beginning of the year, recently at the beginning of the year, gotten into playing with a singer named Alexis Marrero. We are playing Lollapalooza and Rockfest this year. We have other music fests in the works. I would love to be a guest on the show to talk about the music industry and what we go through on a regular basis. So I guess Colton's in a band, one of the bands he works with. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Burn for Living, something like that. I can't remember, but either way, I thought maybe it might be fun. Down the road, we'll let him VMix in. He could talk about what it's like to go to like Lollapalooza. I'd love to hear what it's like to play at Lollapalooza. And then just kind of hear about what's going on in the music industry these days. Maybe he can strum a tune for us. I don't know I'm assuming he's a guitarist. Maybe he's a drummer. I don't know. Maybe he could play something for us. Who knows? So it might be good to get somebody on one of these days. Speaking of trying to get people on the show, I did reach out to, do you remember the girl who did, right after we did the Mikey's McDonald's challenge, ate a bunch of McDonald's in her car, like on her birthday?
Yeah.
That YouTuber.
She was eating a ton of McDonald's. Yeah, absolutely. You said you were going to reach out to her.
I did finally reach out to her, so I'm hoping to hear back from her. She apparently is, she's got an agent and everything. So she's like a real deal thing. So we'll see how that goes. I thought she was just some random chick, but when I started digging into her a little bit more, it turns out like she's got an influencer agent and things like that, and a pretty big one apparently. Whose like agent is that JoJo Siwa girl, who is pretty big as far as TikTok and that community and everything. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if we hear back from her. I'm still waiting. I think I'm going to give Allie and Dan this week to try to get themselves all settled in post-wedding and everything. I do want to try to get a test in with them, hopefully maybe sometime this week, to try to get set up for maybe next week or something like that, to try to get them on here and there, especially because I know you got everything coming up with Ollie here fairly soon. So I want to try to get out ahead of that and try to make sure that I'm not just sitting here talking myself and taking phone calls and raging out for no reason. Yeah, got to try to figure that out with them. So what was that noise? Just realizing the days are numbered. Your days are numbered.
Dude, it's so tough to go to sleep at night, man. I swear to God, it really is. Like the school year is about to start, and I'm 9 years old all over again, and my world is coming to an end.
And you don't even have the like coolness of meeting like a new cool friend, or like there's a new cute girl in class or anything like that. You don't get any of that stuff. None of the.
Nah, I ain't even getting no new pair of shoes to rock on the first day of school.
Nothing. You just got to drive him there and make sure he has his peanut butter and jelly or whatever. Or you got to make lunches, or is he going to buy lunch? How's that working?
Lunch is provided by school every day.
Oh, that's good. All right, that makes life a lot easier.
And he'll get breakfast. He'll get breakfast at school too.
Oh, that's cool.
He'll get snack and stuff after care. So it'll just be dinner at night.
That's easy. Give him a can of corn, can of Chef Boyardee, and call it a night. So go in the other room and watch SpongeBob. I got to drink, or I got to watch Drum drink.
I can't be doing the drinking while I'm watching them anymore. That became a problem last time.
Rephrase that. My bad. All right, good. I'm glad you're out ahead of that. That's good. All right. When is that again? When does that happen officially?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows when he's coming back officially?
Nope. I don't even know when he starts school.
Oh, okay. Have you asked your girl?
Yeah, she don't even know.
She doesn't know when he starts school?
Nope.
She's got to know when he starts school.
Nope. She ain't got nothing from nothing from the school yet. She just moved into a new place, and she's pretty sure it got lost in the mail. So she's got to try to get her address figured out and stuff. She doesn't like his school, his teacher and everything all stays the same because he goes to a Montessori academy. So it's like a K through 5 thing. He's all in the same classroom.
So, well, she's got to call them. She's got to get out ahead of that. She's got to call Mrs. Jones or whatever and say, "What's going on, Mrs. Jones? When's school start?"
I'm assuming it's going to be like the 9th of September, 8th of September.
Mine start on Wednesday, so that's why I'm like...
Yeah, we start later than you. We start after Labor Day.
In New York, you're saying? Or just like, is that a New York thing?
Always. We've always started after Labor Day.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Do you guys end later than us then?
Third week of June?
Yeah, usually, we're the first or last week of May, first week of June or last week of May usually. So, yeah, that sounds about right. We're out ahead of you then. A lot of these places. Everybody's different, but I guess. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Start counting down the days. Your days are numbered, my friend. No, it's fine. I'm just kidding. It's going to be fun. Once you settle into it and get the routine down, I think you guys are going to end up having fun. I think you're going to like it. He's going to start watching stuff that you watch, and you're going to have fun. I think you're going to end up liking it.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it either. I'm just like I told you, like I said the last 2 times we talked about it, I'm just throwing a hissy fit.
We'll cut it out.
I'm an adult. I don't get to throw hissy fits over much things anymore, unless I'm throwing a little bit of a hissy fit over.
All right. Well, I would try to find out when that school thing is going to happen for sure. That's probably the first thing I would do, because then that might make it a little bit easier, because then you have an actual day to deal with. Otherwise, guys, feel like you're pulling a B1 here. You're just like, yeah, well, I mean, we'll talk about school. We'll talk. It starts one of these days. It starts. We'll get there.
I've got one thing on my mind right now, and it's my fantasy football draft. That's the only thing I've got looking forward.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Draft. I'm so glad you brought that up. I have to hear from. Oh, I saw Brad in the chat running his mouth earlier. I love Brad. Brad's fine. Brad L in the chat. Brad, I'm still waiting to hear, are you in or out of this league, my dude? I need to hear from you, and I need to get your buy-in because there's only three people who haven't gotten their buy-in yet.
Oops.
Yep. So we got to get that going because I want to do the draft here, and I'm trying to, coordinate the draft date with everybody because I don't think that 9/1 date's going to work because of the last guy that got in, Dave, my neighbor Dave, who's a big fan of Another Dumb Show. He's also gonna get in. So I need from Louie, Brad, and George. Those are the three guys, and I've sent you guys emails, and I need to hear back from you ASAP regarding whether you're in or out. I don't actually need the buy-in today, just before the season starts. I mean, I don't need it today. I just need to know you're in and that you're serious about the buy-in. That's it. It just doesn't need to be today. So that's it. So everybody else is in. So right now it's me, you, Pat Wooey, Chris H, Brad H, Chris K is right on there, Ken K, Jerry M, and David J. So we got quite a few people that are in this. We're gonna have looks like we're gonna have a 12-person league as long as these other three dudes come through and follow through with what they said they were gonna do. So I don't mean to put their feet to the fire or anything. If you guys can't do it, you can't do it. Just let me know. So I can get this set up here. We got to do this. So, all right, guys.
God, I cannot wait for football. That's like on the double. Like that's the light at the end of the tunnel. Normally, like the light at the end of the tunnel is the train actually coming at me, ready to hit me. But this time, it's like it's football. That's the light. That's my saving grace.
Secret ADS Mod just wanted to give you a 917 med check. A little reminder for you, Mikey, to make sure you take your meds if you've not already done so.
I've been taking them all again. It's a pain in the ass.
It really is. So you got to open a bottle of water and open the bottles and then pour that in your hand.
Oh, I don't even
drink it.
I don't even drink.
Man.
I don't even do anything with water. I just take all the pills dry.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, don't they not dissolve as well if you don't take the water?
I end up drinking water when I get back to my couch or whatever, but I just don't end up drinking the pills.
Oh, see, I put them right by my bed because I'm supposed to take them before bed. So I take mine right before bed.
That's where mine should be.
It's part of my routine, actually. Now, I got a whole very specific thing when I'm done down here because Darla Beans is so cute. She's so routine-oriented. She'll know, the second I say, alrighty, guys, that's going to wrap things up. And then I say, I'm out of here. See you. When I hit the end show button, she's already walking around over here by me. She knows the show's over. It's so crazy. So then when I sit down and hang out for a little bit afterwards, she knows I'm going to do some work. But then as soon as she sees the TV turn off, she hops up, she walks with me to the refrigerator. I grab my bottle of water, and then I go walk upstairs right to my bed and go immediately take my medication. And then I put her on the bed. It's like a specific order that I do it in to try to make sure I don't forget it. It's very specific, and it seems to work. It seems to have been working because I've only forgotten twice. So, all right, good. Dude. Well, go take yours and stay on track. And no hissy fits. All right. I already had enough for both of us. I was
about to say no. Yeah, you definitely had enough for both of us. Yes. No icebox for me.
Yeah. All right. Good. All right, guy. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh, how did that go with that work thing? Everything okay? Did you get the job done?
I couldn't fix it. Nope, I couldn't fix it. That shit was broken. We ain't ever touched it before, and it was an 18-story high rise. It was the whole building was without power. Bunch of people outside looking at me while I'm working on it.
Isn't that the best when everybody's just staring at you, waiting?
First time in my 17 years I've ever had a crowd of people watching me while I work.
It's the worst. That happened the other night while we were at a wedding, Allie and Dan's wedding. The photo booth needed the paper to be new printer paper put in.
Yep.
And when it went back in, for whatever reason, it just wouldn't take. It just over and over kept trying over and over. It wouldn't take, and the line's just starting to build up, and all these people are just standing there waiting, la-di-da. And finally, and Keely was frantically trying to get it to work. And I finally made an announcement. I'm like, all right, guys, it's going to be a minute. The photo booth has to get a paper redo. So why don't you give them a minute and come out here and dance, and then we'll get back to the photo booth. And so I had to kind of take control because I know she was starting to get anxious over there with all those
panic,
people.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was only making it worse. And thankfully, actually, I ended up having to go over and fix it. It got all jammed in there, and I just finally just went, ripped the whole fucking thing out, and then like got it to somehow fed it back through and make it work. But yeah, that was finally a little bit extra muscle. Just finally got it to work. But man, that thing, when it works, it is the coolest thing in the world. But when it malfunctions, it is the bane of my existence, man. It drives me crazy. So, all right. That's going to wrap things up for us tonight, Mikey. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for even making time, even after going to work and putting in extra hours at work. I appreciate you coming and hanging out, dude.
My bad. I missed out on the beginning of the show.
Oh, it's okay. You didn't miss out on much. You just the Hulk out. That's it. So, all right, my dude. I love you. I'll talk to you soon, man. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. All righty, folks. Thank you to everybody who came and hang out in the chat tonight. Sorry, I lost my temper. I really am. I hate it. There's nothing that drives me, makes me angrier than getting angry. Like I said, I hate it very much. So unfortunately, unfortunately I did. I lost my temper again tonight. So, but again, you guys can help me in the chat, understanding that I am too old school to deal with trolls. I don't get them. I don't understand people who spend their life trying to make other people miserable. I don't get it. It's not something I understand. It confuses me. And maybe because I'm just such a big dumb Neanderthal, when I get confused, I just start getting angry. I don't know. Who knows? I'll be the first person to admit I'm a bit of a caveman sometimes. I'm intelligent caveman, but a bit of a caveman sometimes. I get it. But again, I'm just not going to put up with that shit. So I would appreciate it if you're going to hang out in the chat. It's not a free speech thing. It's if you want to hang out with me, because this is supposed to be us hanging out and having a good time and positive vibes and stuff. Just don't be a troll. That's it. And constantly going back to that situation is just going to be considered trolling at this point because of everything that he's doing behind the scenes. If somebody was calling your family members, harassing them, imagine this. Imagine. And there's the people in there who are bitching about free speech or whatever. Imagine you have a family member. You're just doing your job at work, and somebody at work starts harassing you, calling you off hours of work. Right? You know it's them. Where actually you don't even know it's them. It just actually you don't know it's them. It's some anonymous person, but it's somebody say somebody from work, but some anonymous person just harassing you. And then they start harassing your father. And then they find out who one of your friends is, and they start harassing your friend. And then when you call out the person who's harassing you, your friend, and your father, and then that person says, no, you're the one doing that. How would that make you feel? So that's kind of where I'm looking at it. This is a person who's reached a new level of unhealthy stalking and unhealthy behavior, who's now like trying to twist it around and try to make it a thing and like it's a thing for the show or whatever. And I'm trying to tell you it's not a thing for the show. It is a unhealthy, unstable person who I don't want anything to do with. And that's it. And so that's my point. If you like me and you like the show, don't bring that dude up and don't bring that situation up. Don't even make jokes about it. Literally don't even allude to it because I don't want to have to think about it. Because I don't want to have to think about my father being harassed. I don't want to have to think about a listener being harassed. And I'm telling you right now, if you have your full name in that chat, I would get rid of that. I would change it to some sort of made up name or some sort of fun username or something because it's literally not safe at this point. So Blue Wolverine is saying a single troll is getting more attention and on-air participation than 60 to 100 paying subscribers. Quit giving them so much attention and spread to those that are here for you. Blue Wolverine, I love you, dude. Pick up the phone. I've encouraged you guys to call into the show, though, and I'm not getting the phone calls, I'm getting in the chat. And I'm telling you guys, with only me here, I cannot just sit and read the chat and also have intelligent conversation. It can't work both ways. That's why I'm saying if we have interaction with the phone call, that's a little bit easier you can actually interact. That's the point of the phones. And I understand the chat's great, but to directly interact with me is what I'm saying. Call and you will 100% get direct interaction with me. What is he doing? He's calling. It's much easier to do that. And I'm not sweating you. I don't want you to think I don't appreciate you here, but sometimes you guys are in there telling dad jokes and shit while I'm talking about something. You guys sometimes talk about something that has zero to do with what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's hard to sometimes just sit and read the chat. And I can't just do that because while I love the league and I love you guys, if you guys are talking about something that has zero to do with what I'm talking about, I don't want to do that. I can't just sit and it's distracting, if nothing else. That's what I'm saying. If you want the interaction, pick up the phone, call in, 844-HIT-THUMB, 844-448-3862. So I'd encourage you guys to do that. Because again, I even mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Call in. I think the very first thing I said on the show today was I'd love to have some interaction from you guys today by calling in. Because again, it's hard to just sit and read the chat and talk to myself and just talk to you guys because it's, A, you're behind. So I say 3 or 4 sentences, then I got to backtrack, read that. You know what I mean? It's a constant flow from you guys. It's not, and then I got to go back, find it, because not everybody's tagging me and everything. And again, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining to you why sometimes I can't interact with you guys because I'm going faster than you guys are and you're not keeping up. And that's why I ask for the phone calls from people like Gunner. Gunner calls all the time. Welcome to another Dumb Show. What's up, Gunner?
What's up, Dumb?
How are you, bro? What's going on?
Not too shabby, dude. I just had a question.
Yes.
Who's the best Spider-Man?
See, Gunner has great questions. Now, these are the kind of questions that usually come up in the chat while I'm talking about a girl running into a wall going 100 miles an hour. I'll see, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Which is great. I like the phone call because it's easier. I can actually get the phone call, and if I have to go out of what I was talking about and back into it, then I can't. My favorite Spider-Man. Ooh. I don't know if I have a favorite Spider-Man, to tell you the truth. None of them really jump out at me as far as liking one more than the other. I can't lie. I just enjoy Spider-Man himself. I don't think I care about Peter Parker much at all. Unlike Superman and Clark Kent, I like both of them. I find Clark Kent to be a dynamic character. Well, Peter Parker is a dynamic character too. I don't want to take away from Pete. I just don't think any of them have stood out to me as a great Peter Parker. They're all right. They're all okay. Maybe Toby, but I don't like the weird, the weird web shooters with him. You know, that's weird. So I'm going to have to defer on this one. I don't have an actual favorite Spider-Man. I don't have a favorite Spider-Man. I'd have to think about that a little bit more. I hate to have a shitty answer like I don't know, but I've never really thought about it enough. My son Shay would be the one to ask about that because he is the Spider-Man freak. He really, really loves Spider-Man. So yeah, I don't have an answer for you on this one, Gunner. You'll have to get back to me. I'll have to do a little bit more research. It's usually uniform specific too. Uniform has a lot to do with it. So Spidey suit wise, I do like the Iron Man tech on the last Spider-Man. So that's all kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah, I don't dislike that. So how about Gunner? Who's yours?
Toby all the way.
Toby all the way? Oh no, I shit on your man. Even though he shoots the goo right out of his wrist.
All right. No. He's the first Spider-Man. He just is what really got me into Spider-Man. He's cool.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
I like the new one too.
Say that one more time.
I said the new guy's pretty good too.
What I don't even remember the new guys. Oh, Tom Holland. Yeah. So yeah, he's good too.
Holland, yeah.
He's good too. So, all right, Gunner. Well, I appreciate it. I will look more into my Spider-Man. I'll watch some more of them and decide which one I like the best, and I'll get back to you. Deal?
Yes, sir, buddy.
Awesome. Later, bro. All right. Drew said I had a silly excuse regarding not interacting with Chad enough. He said Chad is huge on YouTube. Penguins Zero has 30,000 people in his chat and still talks to them. I feel like I talk to you guys a lot. Really do. Kind of feel like I do. Feel like I talk to you guys a lot. Sorry if I'm not talking to you enough. I think it just happened to be a day where phones rang. I picked up the phone and there was a guy there making out complete lies, and I was trying to explain something to you and get yelled at for defending myself. Can't win. So, all right, cool. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us tonight on The Dumb Show. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate you guys watching, whether you believe it or not. I really do appreciate it. I love how a troll has made you guys think I don't like you. So you essentially have let him win by me giving him time and then telling you guys, and then you guys getting mad for me giving him time essentially has allowed him to win. So cool. I don't get it, man. I really don't. I literally just asked for some phone calls, picked up the phone, got a troll instead of one of the fans. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap things up for us on another Dumb Show. I appreciate everybody hanging out. If you've not already hit the like button on tonight's video, please do that. I really appreciate you guys doing that. If you're not already a member and you want to become a member and feel like feel you left out, then hit that join button. It's only $1.99 a month for me to make you feel left out. I truly appreciate everybody watching. I really do. I don't know why anybody would ever feel like I don't. I 100% do, and I feel like I thank you guys every single day for being here. And I apologize, and I'm working on behind the scenes to try to make the show better and add more people and add more elements and things like that. So I apologize again if I lost my temper and it made you feel left out. I really do. But again, was just hoping for a little more interaction out of the phones from you guys, and I just got instead got a troll and then got yelled at for yelling at the troll. So that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. We'll be back live tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. I am out of here. See ya.